And when we come back on Those Extra, presented by Jeep, Jim Palmer sits down with pitching coach Dave Wallace. They'll discuss Wei-Yin Chen. Is with Dave Wallace.
Dave, your second year as pitching coach with the Orioles, what had you heard about Wei-Yin Chen, and what have you seen?
Well, I've heard all the things that, people tell you. He's a strike thrower. He knows what he's doing when he's on the mound. It's an easy delivery. But when you see it live, I think, Jim, it's different. The ball comes out of his hand. It reads 92, 93, but the reactions as a hitter is a little bit better. He's a strike thrower. He commands the baseball not quite as well as we think he should. Of course, you and I are perfectionists. We want everybody to command it perfectly, but really, I think to get to the next level, if he can command his fastball a little better in the strike zone, and establish those four quadrants a little bit better, he's going to really, really be good. But and the other thing I didn't hear about him was that his makeup, and he's a competitive guy. He gets after a little bit, and after the first year with him, I learned a little bit about him and what makes him tick. And about a month and a half ago, he was showing some kind of despair on the mound, having a tough time, and we got into it a little bit. And to his credit, he took it and he got better. So I think he's been throwing the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, pitching coaches, obviously, you have to be able to teach. You have to be patient. You got to pat him on the back, kind of father figure, but you also have to sometimes be a shrink. He started out 1-4, even though he pitched well. Now he's won 5 out of his last 6 decisions. Has the shrink part of being a pitching coach come into effect this year?
I think it really has, Jim. And as you know, sometimes we don't know what's going to tweak these guys. But I think when you're with them every day, and once in a while, you can be their friend, you can be their buddy. But I've had a lot of good pitchers over the years tell me, hey, I don't need a friend, I need a pitching coach. So even though you like a guy personally and you like the way he compete, sometimes it's time to have a come to Jesus meeting and let him know what's really going on. And we did that with Wei-Yin. Dom and I talked to him and got into a little bit in one of the bullpen sessions and said, hey, it's fish or cut bait time. You've got to get after it. And to his credit, he did that.
I've noticed, he always loves his fastball, and why not? Comes out of his hand probably as well as anybody on the staff. But over the last, 5 out of winning 6 decisions, the fastball has gone down a little bit. Not the velocity, but the mix. More sliders, more curveball, and more changeup. Is that the maturation of a young left-hander?
I would hope so. I hate to say, that he shows us something different the last couple of weeks, but yeah, it is. I mean, as you know, when he has that big, slow curveball and it changes eye levels with the hitters, and then you throw that fastball, it's just a different look. And he's made progress, I think, with his changeup really since spring training. So those 2 pitches, when he uses them, especially in crippled counts, when hitters are looking for a fastball, and he can command them and get them over the plate, it makes everything else much easier.
You all know, different culture, comes from Taiwan, different language, but is there a universal, denominator that steady, good pitchers like Wei-Yin Chen have?
I think there really is. And, I've had the experience of having Chan Ho Park, Hideo Nomo, guys like that from the Asian culture, and it was an advantage coming in and getting to know Wei-Yin. But there is a common denominator. I remember those guys talking to me in L.A. about, pitching in Japan, and it's basically, other than how many pitches they throw between starts and how many pitches they're allowed to throw during the game, the competitiveness, the command of the baseball, and exploiting weaknesses, but also going to your strength as pitchers, there is a universal language, and I think the eye can see that. When I watch these guys in the dugout watching the game, they see things, may not be able to communicate them as well as you and I, but I learned a long time ago, they see the same game.
3 of the 4